Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this episode of Heresy Hammer. Now, it feels like me and Lee haven't done a recording with each other for some time, and it's actually, in reality, only been 3 weeks. But I think it's because of the intense period that we had up to this point. Lee, we kind of
Yes.
seeing each other every other day, but things seem to be have settled down a little bit. I've just got back from Australia on Tuesday, and we are going to spend a little bit of time today just touching on the legacies, but also just the current state of Horus Heresy as well. Now, as we record this, Lee, within 48 hours, is going to be turning up at my house to get some games in.
Fuck
Um,
yeah.
and I've got my first two games in only the other day against Adam from Full Circle Hobby and Kieran from Raptor Imperialis. I mean, what a bunch of dudes to play some heresy against, and that was
Yeah, and
yeah.
I feel like we should plug their
Oh,
YouTube.
Powerfist. Yes, yes.
Yes.
They host an awesome podcast called Powerfist, which we would highly recommend. Some highbrow shit over there. But
Yeah.
also they've literally just launched a Patreon as well, with all of like Adam and Kieran's
Oh fuck yeah, I need to
cheeky
check that out actually. Yeah.
cheeky tricks
Yeah, yeah.
about how they go about painting stuff. It's really interesting. Like there's
So after you've
some
signed
great
up
stuff
to
in
our Patreon, then signed up to Rob's Patreon, go and sign up to their Patreon. Is that what you
Correct.
say?
That is in that very order. So yeah, so we're gonna touch base. We're just gonna talk about the state of things. But to you, Lee, I mean, we went through a mad period in July, wasn't it? It was intense. It
Yes,
was
it
insane.
was crazy. We've talked about it previously. I had a bit of a moan about it. It was kind of intense because it was a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah,
And also, like, there was just this wave of negativity, which
yeah,
probably we didn't help with one of our videos. I guess we got a bit salty.
yeah,
But I was talking to people about it, and there was clearly people from outside the heresy community just jumping on the HGW bandwagon because, like, it was the only time I've ever known of where we were actively just fucking deleting comments
mm,
on the YouTube. I don't think we've ever, we've silenced a few people because they're just, you know, just insulting people or being dickheads. But
yeah.
generally, even if it's negative or against us or whatever, we usually just like, yeah, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Let it slide. Yeah,
But it was just fucking draining after a while, wasn't it? It was
yeah,
just like some of it was insane.
yeah,
So I feel like, yeah, I feel like we've kind of, well, I think we all knew we would get to this point. It was just
yeah.
how long it would
How
get to
long it
this
took to
point.
get there? Yeah, that's fair.
And I do feel like, and we'll discuss it today, the Legacy PDF has gone a long way to soothe the burn that was initially
Yeah,
out. And I think it's pretty obvious to most people that I know a lot of people have said, oh, well, they always planned to do this PDF. No, they fucking didn't.
not
Like
not
this
not not
PDF,
this PDF. Not
no,
a PDF.
is probably twice what they'd originally planned because some of those units they'd have just put in the actual Libras. So, but I doffed my hat. You know, you listen to the community. The community got salty. They listened to him. I hats off to the rules writers because must have been
Burn in the midnight oil,
working.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I feel sorry for him to a point because you've put all that time and effort into what I can so far see is actually a good set of rules. There's always going
mm,
to be bits here and there. Just to have like the community absolutely blow up in your face
yeah,
and then have to do even more work to try and kind of fix the problem that, from what I've heard, a lot of the rules writers were like, this is not going to go down well.
yeah,
So I do feel sorry for them, but I feel like we've reached that point now where people can just either go on their own way and play second edition or whatever they want to do,
yeah,
or like we're going to do, just enjoy third edition and get excited for a new rule set, new way of playing things, units that are actually good now, weapons that are good now. So yeah, I feel like we're in a good place now, but I feel for about
yeah.
a month, it was not fun place to be.
No, no, it's interesting. Lots of the points you make are really interesting, and it's difficult to know like. it's also difficult to know as a podcast that makes content how long you should kind of like talk about the past, right? And at
Yeah, I
what point
guess.
should you
Yeah.
just be like,
Fuck
look,
it,
come on,
move
let's
on.
let's look to the
Yeah.
future or whatever. I think it's interesting looking um, back at their articles because the last article that they did was on for Horus Heresy was actually the 1st of August. So it's been 13 days since we've had an article. And actually, in terms of 13 days doesn't sound like a lot, but in that like mad intensive period that we had where we were getting articles every day or twice a day, it was such an intense period. But I think reflecting on it now, I think that basically lots of the stuff that happened was out of their control in the sense that we had leaks and those were out of their control.
Yeah.
Although we can talk about like their crisis management strategy
Yeah.
and the fact that
Yeah.
these
Or
things
lack
always
of.
leak. They
Yeah.
should be prepared for those things.
Yeah.
But I think that they did a fair amount of stuff that basically undermined the launch of 3.0. And I think
Yes.
that um I mean, you know, if there are business classes out there, they may look back at the launch of this product and say, these are the things that we recommend not doing, and then looking at Horus Heresy
Yeah.
3.0 as a way to go about not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
launching a new edition. But as you say, like lots of things were out of their control. The leak of the box, the leak of the rules, and the
Yeah.
leak of the Libras, right? Like, but and then they weren't able to manage people's expectations. But exactly as you say, Lee, I 100% agree that. I mean, I can tell you that the legacies of the Age of Darkness was not ever meant to be as vast as
No.
what we have received
Yeah.
as a result of community backlash. And I think that you can just look at the delay on it and just go, yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much to add two and two together and
No.
come up with four
No.
there.
But they did it. So,
Yeah,
fair
and that's
play.
it. And that's it, right? Which is that it was amazing because anger can only take you so far, I think, before basically anger just kind of like burns
Yeah.
out, and
Yeah.
and they did it, and it was amazing within 24 hours, like how quiet it felt the community became
Yeah.
to be able
Yeah.
to digest that and
Yeah.
have that in their hand, and I think it's interesting, like. Um, yeah, I mean, it was delayed, obviously. It stopped people from rules writing from the day of release
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things like that. But I suppose, yeah, I suppose, Euron's in that dilemma kind of being like, well, should we carry on talking about the past or should we just kind of plow on to Moscow, Like it's an interesting one. But I think that what I would say is that there are still lots of people who are quite emotional about it and just like, well, I'm still going to play 2.0. And as we've said before, fine. Just like that, like
Yeah. Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I actually like looking at this new rule set and looking at the old one. I actually think that both have their strengths, both have their weaknesses, but I still really like 2.0. So if you want to stick to
Yeah,
it,
it's
like
interesting,
fair
isn't
play,
it?
right?
I am way more excited for third edition than I ever have been for second
Yeah.
edition.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I can't even really put a finger on why, other
Yeah.
than like the main thing for me with second edition is I would read a rule 5 times and still have no idea what they were trying to tell me to do.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was probably that was my biggest issue with second edition is
Mm,
I'd come up with an idea, like, oh yeah, this is a cool list, and then you're like, right, how does that work? And then you'd read
mm,
it, and you're like, okay, I don't
yeah,
know how that works. And then you
yeah.
read it again, and you're like, okay, I can't be bothered with this idea. I'll move on to
Well,
something
some of the,
else.
I mean, some of the, yeah, I mean, some of the advanced reactions
Yeah, so I am mega excited for
I
third edition. I'm looking forward
just,
to get my first games in.
yeah. Just out of curiosity, have you attempted to start list writing at all for this
I
edition?
have, but only for the units I have.
And how has that been as an experience for you?
Not well, the experience has been fine, but
Yeah,
half the things I used to have as my kind of objective capturing
yeah,
no longer have lines. So I'm like,
yeah,
oh fuck, I need to build some more tac marines.
yeah. Okay,
it's,
yeah, they're
it's,
gonna
it's
be, yeah,
essentially part of me was like, do I either just fuck line and I just go all vanguard,
yeah,
But then part of me was like, oh, like we'll talk about it when we get into
Yeah,
the show. But yeah, there's a few things that I'm like. I mean, the main one for me is Thalax. I used to take Thalax and run them as
because they were scoring.
because they were scoring. Well, they had line
Yeah.
previously, so now
So
they
they can,
don't.
I suppose,
I don't think
what
they
I would
do. You know
say
what? I haven't
is no,
actually.
I don't think they do. But don't forget they can still score. It's just they won't get
Yes.
the additional points for scoring.
No, but let's face it, if you want a scoring unit, if you want a unit whose sole objective is to score
It
objectives,
needs to have
you
line.
want line.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just, yeah, you're gonna.
Have you have you done everything by paper and pen when you've been list writing?
No, I haven't.
You've been
No,
doing it
no,
on the computer.
yeah, I use Excel for
Oh
mine.
right. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so all I
Like a
do
true warrior of
is,
iron.
yes, yeah, and then I've had to completely change the way I write my lists, but I just color code everything. So
Mm.
whichever what's the word command unit
Yeah, unlocks
opens
the
up a detachment, I just color code that command to that detachment.
yeah,
So like I'm
interesting.
running a Forge Lord, so the
Yeah.
Forge Lord opens up to Thalax. But though
Oh
I
right.
think that just goes in part of his Force Org, so that doesn't
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
affect
yeah.
anything. But yeah, I just color code
Okay,
everything.
interesting. Yeah, I found it
Um,
quite laborious to list write for this edition, but I suspect because we don't have a fully
I
functioning app as of yet.
I did, but also the main one for me was I would have liked it if they put the original detachments that are in the main rulebook
I
in
completely
the
agree.
Liber
Completely agree.
because I ended up with like two or three rulebooks open with the different detachments
Mm.
just because I couldn't remember what goes in that detachment.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
agree. I agree with that. Yeah, like so as I was coming back from, as I was on a train, a 12-hour train from Sydney to Melbourne, I quickly discovered exactly as you said that actually I was like, oh, the detachments aren't actually in, apart from the Legions Astartes specialist
the
detachments.
specific
They're
detachments,
not the
yeah.
actual detachments are not
No.
in the Libras. They've done such a good job about like having the
Yeah,
special
yeah, yeah,
rules in
yeah,
each
yeah,
book, but those
yeah.
ones aren't in. So I think I'll just need to photocopy the
That's
pages and
exactly
put them
what
in
I
the
need to
Libras, right?
do. I just need to make a like PDF or something so I can have it
Yeah.
open. But the thing is, it's the classic, like, you know, when you played, when second edition dropped, you didn't have to think, right, what's in the Force org chart because you
Yeah.
just knew because
You
you'd
knew
been
when to put
playing.
them.
That Force org
Yeah.
chart hasn't changed for however many years.
Yeah.
So, in in a few months' time, I'm sure you'll just know, like, oh, it
Yeah.
has a high
Armored
command and free
fist and
command
armored.
and
Yeah.
four troops and four transports or
Yeah.
whatever it is. But at the minute, because it's all new, it is a bit
Mm.
like. But yeah, that is my only gripe. Is I
One
would
of
have.
my so just as a we haven't even got into the main show yet, but
I know.
but just as a as an aside, it would be interesting to get your thoughts on this. Yeah, as we're talking about the state of heresy, I do think weapons are more balanced than they were before.
I do.
Um,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, so
I
like
think.
there's no I think you said it in a previous show. There's you can find a reason to take every single weapon within the arsenal of
Mm,
the Astartes and
yeah.
be like, okay, that will be quite good at doing this. And I
Mm,
think we weren't always there in 2.0 and even in 1.0, which I quite like. But I tell you something that's like utterly devastating. Is basically just damage two weapons like autocannons and the Volkite
yes.
Cardinal or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like I took in those practice games with Kieran and Adam, I took some like quad mortars, and they just disintegrated from damage two. Like they're just
Interesting.
poof, gone.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Because they're still
okay,
toughness. They're toughness six now, aren't they?
yeah, but like
Yeah.
against
Didn't give a
autocannons,
fuck.
so literally that you just like, oh, it's damage two. I
Hmm.
can't make enough saves to save this unit. Um,
So
yeah, it
I
was savage.
I think one of the biggest changes that makes all weapon options viable now isn't so much the changes to the weapons. It's getting rid of artificer armor on sergeants. Like it just opens up because there's so many times in second edition where I'm like, man,
Yeah,
I want to run like
heavy
heavy bolters
bolters.
on a
Yeah,
dreadnought because it just looks cool as fuck. Like
yeah,
dreadnoughts with heavy bolters looks cool as fuck. But I'm
yeah.
like, it is lit. I remember sitting down for like an hour just going through every weapon trying to work out what would be the best one best weapon to put on a contemptor. I wanted to write a Fury of the Ancients list that
Mm.
wasn't going to be completely over the top.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it because I was like, all these weapons you would want to take against infantry are going to be shit against infantry because the
Yeah.
sergeant's just going
It's
to
gonna
tank
save
all the
them.
wounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, like your autocannon, your Gravis autocannons, your heavy bolters and stuff, they just wouldn't do anything because the sergeant's just going to be like, "Yep, cheers,
Yeah.
cheers,
It was
cheers,
a
cheers."
yeah. It was a massive massive
Whereas now you've
obstacle.
got rid of that, like
Yeah.
so many more of these weapons now are like, "Fuck, that's actually going to put some
Yeah.
damage on attack squad or whatever." So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or in theory, like we could be proven completely wrong when we play our first games, but
No,
or
no.
when I
I
play my
think
first
what
game. But
one of the final points to make before we actually get into the show in earnest is I had been under the impression from crunching the numbers and looking at it that las cannons were going to be still going to be the premium
yeah, you were
anti-tank.
saying this.
I'm not convinced by that now. I think
Interesting.
my view has changed on this. So I never thought Melter was going to be particularly good against AV-14. I mean, they'll be good in certain
Right.
circumstances, but you're hitting on threes. And like, it's great nighttime has gone. Like,
Yeah.
a
Oh
lot more of
God,
your
is
shots in
it?
that first 10 hits,
Christ. Yeah.
but you're still fairly consistently just hitting on threes unless you're an Imperial Fist player. And
Yeah.
so you're going to lose a third of your shots, and there's no re-rolls anymore, no twin links or whatever. Um, and then, so if you've got four las cannons on your Proteus, you're gonna hit with four of them,
Yeah.
and then you're fishing for fives and sixes against AV-14. So you're probably gonna get like one and a bit through, aren't you? And then like if the tank isn't stable and it's moved, it's only damage one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
my view has slightly changed on I think if you are going to want to deal with AV-14, which we had a look at some lists today, somebody's like Dark Angels list, and it had so much AV-14 in.
Yeah.
Kratos, two Land Raiders, and a Spartan, which I think will be fairly standard in the next 6 months. I think you're going to have las cannons that are strength 10 or above. And like a demolisher cannon, I think is strength 12, but I think it's just fishing for fives and sixes isn't enough. I think the hitting on or penning on fours because of armor bane is going to be quite critical. Um, yeah, so that was really interesting, and I think like shock is going to be so valuable. And one final thing before we get the show started, sorry, lots of things I want to talk to you about. Is let's take a Venator. So a Venator has shock, so I think it's got shock suppressed. So shock suppressed basically means if you hit on a five or a six, it will suppress the tank or walker that it's hitting. But what's really good about the Venator is that even if the Venator itself is shocked, it's still snap firing on fives and sixes. And the fives and
Yes.
sixes are the thing you're hunting for.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
even then, like I think you can say to yourself, okay, a Venator actually really serves a purpose, even if it gets suppressed, because you only ever want fives and sixes really, because you want to shut down another person's tank on
Yeah.
the suppressed
Yeah.
status.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, actually, these, even if they get suppressed, they still have a role, particularly if it has shock, suppress, shock, pin, shock,
But
whatever, right?
I do think this is one of the most exciting things for third edition, though, is I think everything's on the table. I don't
Oh,
think there's
agreed, agreed.
that's what I
Yeah,
like about it.
yeah, yeah,
I agree with what you're saying about AV-14, blah 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 blah. But I mean, we were talking about it not that long ago on our little group chat thing of can jump troops go in tanks now
yeah.
because no one can see a rule that says they can't.
Can't, yeah,
But the flips, which is amazing, but the flip side is, do you want to spend 400 points on a
yeah,
Spartan
yeah.
to put that unit in?
So it's interesting when you said that because I was like, yeah, I would. If I've got a bunch
Yeah.
of veteran assaults,
And and
veteran
I
assault
was
marines,
like,
I'd be
no,
like,
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
sure. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but maybe I'll change my mind after
yeah,
this weekend. But
yeah, yeah. It's
um,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, it's again, I just think there's going to be lots of weird and wacky things, but I'm kind of up for it. You know what I mean? Like,
Cool.
I'm open to
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Well,
But
maybe we'll do a debrief on the games in our
yeah, yeah,
on the
yeah.
Patreon or something like that. Okay. Cool. Well, anyway, we are going to talk about Legacy of the Age of Darkness today. it'd be great to hear your thoughts. I suspect most people have probably had at least one game now. So let us know in the comments below what your initial thoughts are. Are las cannons the premium anti-tank? What's your thoughts on Battlesmith? Is it essential to have in your list? Because I think so. What's your feelings on Shock? Have tactical statuses been had an impact in your game? Because they were huge in my game. But speaking to Giles, our friend who runs the
Yeah.
helps run the Merchant Prince, he said it's not been an issue. But we are going to talk about the legacies of the Age of Darkness today and 10 takeaways. So we're going to whiz through these and talk about some of them as well. Obviously, you guys are probably really focused, like we have, on the things that most affect you. But we just want to draw everything together for the Age of Darkness, the legacies of the Age of Darkness, in 10 bite-sized chunks for you. So let's have a look at the first one. So, as I say, they are a sizable edition. It's over 200 pages and
That's
includes.
crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a tome in and of itself, and it's nearly bigger than the auxiliary and lead, but mechanicum leaders put together. And there are a lot to get through, so we're gonna slim it down and talk about the 10 takeaways. So, I will alternate them. I'll do the first one. So, Legion Wargear and Flavor is back. So nearly all the missing Wargear for units has returned. So Angel Tears, for example, couldn't take assault cannons. Pricey though, pricey.
This is
Eben
what I was
Cashew,
going to say.
yeah,
Yeah,
can
it's
keep their
yeah.
power fists, and Suzerain can keep their Thunderhammers as well. So this was a really big one, and I think this is one that massively affected me. It probably affected you guys at home, and if you have a look at SM battle reports, it certainly affected those guys. Which is that lots of the things we had upgraded particularly our specialist legion units with, that was taken out of the Libras, have now returned. So it means that you're not going to have to snap arms off or snap weapons off, which is really important. And it goes back to that profile that we said in that one of the more controversial of our episodes, where we kind of analysed why the rules drop had gone so badly. But lots of that has been adjusted. Now, not all of it. I recognise that some people will still be kind of like, oh, well, it didn't work out for me. I'm sure there are examples of units where it didn't work out, but in the main, most people have their rules back and they can play with their rules. It's great to see Legion Wargear come back, but I query why it was gone in the first place. I'm sure we can
Yeah.
find some reasons, but it's good to see that flavor, that flavor return. So plasma repeaters, I think for Dark Angels they got those back. Warp fire guns, cannons, whatever the word bearers,
Warpfire,
whatever's
yes. I'm glad I
tainted
haven't actually
weapons.
looked at it for word bearers, so I don't know if it's actually any good, but it was fucking brilliant in second
Yeah, yeah,
edition.
yeah,
But
yeah. Because it caused pinning and stuff, didn't it? So it did
yeah,
loads
and
of.
it was just a longer range as well. If I, oh, was it? Oh god, I can't remember. I think that the Terminator blaster was a longer range or
Yeah,
something. But yeah, and it was just for me, it was just the flavor of it.
yeah,
It just added to the flavor of word bearers being a little bit chaosy and a
yeah,
little bit, warp touched.
yeah.
But yeah, so I haven't actually had a look at their rules to see if they're any good.
No,
I will
interesting. I mean,
imagine.
they are. It looks to be shred, like 6 up and then breaching 5 up.
Okay,
So that's
yeah,
not too
yeah,
shabby at all. And
breaching's okay.
they've got some tainted weapons as well. So that's pretty nice. So that's cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. And like we can carry on playing for the next 3 years until they cull all of
No,
the
I mean this is the only thing,
characters
isn't it?
from
This
that
is,
color.
and I would caveat everything we're going to talk about today is that it just because they've put it in this time,
Yeah.
maybe if we throw our toys out the pram next time they don't put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That's it.
there's
I don't.
no
Yeah. Yeah.
guarantee.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to do some funky units, I would do them now, so you get at
Yeah.
least a few years use
or
out of them.
or or future-proof them by magnetizing arms and weapon
Magnetizing,
option.
yeah,
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 but
yeah,
I just think otherwise
yeah.
you're going to come back to this in 3 years' time and be like,
Yeah, this is something I
whoa.
was thinking about. This has affected
Yeah,
the way I feel about the Legacies PDF. Like,
yeah,
I'm very happy it's here, but I'm also very much like, this is here now.
yeah,
Will it
yeah,
still be here in 3 years' time?
yeah, 100%.
We'll see.
Cool. Talk us through the next one,
Right.
Andy. What's
Missing
coming up?
consoles are back. Armisters, warmongers, delegators, and more are back.
Now this did affect you, right? Because the
Yes, yeah, yeah. I
Forge
was
Lord is
like,
back.
did it? And then I was
Yeah,
like, yes, it
yeah,
did.
fuck yes, it did.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've got my Forge Lord back,
yeah,
and he can take Thalax.
yeah.
So yeah, half my fucking arm. Although, like
Was
we've
back.
mentioned, Thalax are no longer scoring, so that's kind of screwed me over a bit.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah, yeah, like yeah. Again, I don't know why they got rid of Forge Lords. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I did. They had a Terminator Forge Lord, didn't they? Model. So, although that was an
Not
Iron
sh
Father,
Yeah, it
wasn't
was
it?
Iron Father, specifically Iron
So
Father. Yeah.
maybe that's why they got rid of it. But I mean, yeah, I don't really know why they got rid of Forge Lord. I feel like Forge Lord is something they could just make a model for.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
were they?
yeah,
Who knows?
that affected me, and he's pretty good. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And like
Yeah.
I say, he can take
Do the
Thalax.
Thalax get the Legiones Astartes rule, or do they not get anything
No,
anymore?
off the top of my head, no. It
Okay.
does say it. Oh, I can't remember how it's worded.
I
It
see.
basically they lose the reductor trait because I
Yeah.
think I'm still trying to get my head around the mechanicum, like the mechanicum
Aren't we
Liber
all?
for anyone who's going through it. Like it's well laid out, but it does make my head hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But each unit is either
It's got a trait, hasn't it? Yeah.
yes, and
Yeah.
you either choose the trait or it comes with a trait.
Yeah.
So Thalax have the reductor trait,
Mm.
and you get rid of that, and you get like a legion reductor or
Thalaxi. Oh,
something.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't think that actually means anything. I think
Right.
it's just something they've done
Yeah.
so that you can't interact
Yeah.
with Mechanicum models.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I haven't
Yeah,
worked out why they've done that.
lots of these traits I found don't actually do anything. Like there was an
Yeah,
example I was looking at the other
but
day.
then
Like they
I
don't do
wonder,
anything for the model, but sometimes some weapons say, "Oh, this will work against
and that's
Legion
why I think
Leonis
they've done it.
Thalaxi,"
Yeah,
right?
so it might not necessarily do anything, but it stops something else from being done to it.
Yeah,
I think that's why they've done it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I was mega happy because I was like, fuck, that was one of my main units.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, Forge
And you
Lord
had a squad
is
of six.
back,
Yeah, you already
baby.
you had a squad of six ready to go.
Thalax,
Yeah.
I've got to build another two because I have 10 Thalax.
Oh, okay.
I had a squad of
Ah,
six and a squad of four. I used to run.
they're so dastardly, aren't they? Because what they've done is force you to buy a box there.
Well, I mean, I've already got them. It's not like I haven't
Ah,
already. I've
fair
got
play, fair play.
fucking boxes of Mechanicum battle groups sat out there. So yeah, yeah, they can't. They can. They're running groups of 6 or 9 now,
Yeah,
whereas
yeah,
before
yeah.
you could do 3 to 10. I think I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember.
Three were really common as little scoring,
Yeah,
trivial
well, I
little
used to run
scoring
a little
units.
squad of 4 because it was quite
Yeah,
nice as a little like anti-tank just
yeah,
jumping about. But they've changed quite a lot. The Thalax, not that we're talking about Thalax now, but yeah, I was very happy that my Forge Lord was back
great.
because
Oh,
I
good.
spent a lot of time
I'm happy for
converting
you. I
and
can't wait to
building him.
kill him on the tabletop on
Yeah,
Saturday. I'm looking forward
probably.
to it.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool. Okay, well, let's have a look at the third one. So Liber consoles mostly have options. So this is really interesting. So um, what one of the common things that has happened is that we've obviously got a lot more unit entries, and this is why the PDF is so long. So, for example, we had a
yeah,
herald in power armor in the Liber books. But you can get different kinds of heralds now. So, like a herald in Tartarus armor, a herald in Terminator armor, whatever, a herald with a jump pack now. So that was one of my main gripes, and it definitely affected me with the Ultramarines. Before I was basically either going to have to cut those models up, um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, or just keep them on the shelf. So this is really good. What I would say though is that although we have now a champion in Terminator armor, some consoles remain wargear locked. So a
yeah.
champion is only going to be ever able to ever take a Paragon Blade, like as an option. Like
Right.
whatever, fine. You know, he comes with it baked in. It's part of his points. I can see what they've done. Um, but it's just so some things have become weapons locked, some things haven't. And I, you know, there you go, right? But I suppose, you know, what I would say is that the models that I had built before, I can now play with as a result of this.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
interesting that each one has its own unit entry now as well. So
yeah, that's the way they've
yeah,
gone, isn't it?
yeah,
Which is fine. I think the biggest one for this is people who wanted to run specific armies. Like if you
Yeah,
wanted to do all assault squads, or your Blood Angels was pretty much all assault.
yeah.
Or
100%.
whatever it was you wanted to do a Terminator force. Now you can
Yeah,
because they're all back. So yeah, like you might have to snap some weapons off. Or like the case of the champion is, I mean, essentially anything can be a Paragon
literally
blade.
that. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
100%.
just, you know. So
Yeah,
if you had a Thunder Hammer on one, you could just be like, "This is my Paragon
yeah.
blade
Yeah,
Thunder Hammer." I don't
it's
think anyone would
yeah,
get too
no,
salty about that.
no, not at all. I think the other thing I would say is that not all units gain their options back. So there is no apothecary with the jump pack now. Like that doesn't exist,
Oh,
and it wasn't
interesting.
given back to us in the rules,
Yeah.
which is definitely interesting. I do want to just talk about, and I suspect we'll probably talk about this in a Patreon episode. But I do want to, in fact, I mean, in fact, I know we're going to do that because we're going to be talking about the console soon. But I do want to touch base on the Mortificator because that was a bit of a revelation. And this is not to whine or groan about the Mortificator, but it's an interesting anomaly. So have you had a look at the Mortificator and
I
what it does?
haven't. No,
Okay,
I
so well,
literally looked
I
at
will
all the
tell you right
ones
now
that
what it
affect me.
does. So it's 100 points.
Yeah.
It comes with very, very useful rules. So it's got Battlesmith 2, but it's also got
Okay.
servo arm as well. So I think the
Okay.
servo arm is it's an additional point to the Battlesmith, so it can like repair three whole points or like get rid of
Yes.
three statuses or whatever. He has intelligence 9. And it's also got a corpusant stave. Now, the corpusant stave is incredible. So basically, it's got shock, pinning, stunned, and suppressed as well. So if it hits on a
Okay.
5 or a 6, like a vehicle, it's going to pin, stun, and suppress like a vehicle or a walker, right? It's incredible.
Right.
So it just
Okay.
has to hit on a 5 or a 6. Okay. Um, but what he does, the special, so that's just 100 points, and even then, I think he's of good value. But what he does is it unlocks a different kind of auxiliary detachment, which is the Dreadnought Talon.
Ah.
So I had assumed, just kind of very glancing over these at like 12 o'clock in the morning,
Mm.
when I had sort of been staying awake for the legacies drop each night. I was like, oh, the Mortificator just joins the three dreadnoughts, and then it's just a unit because that's how it's always been. That's
Right.
not how it
Yeah.
works
Okay.
now.
Yeah. No. No.
So
No.
on Mortificator unlocks the Dreadnought Talon, and the Dreadnought Talon is basically three Contemptor Dreadnoughts that are separate. They're not a Talon. They can be deployed anywhere on the
Ah.
board.
Interesting.
Um, and he doesn't. He can't. I mean, he can't join a Walker. That's not. He's not able to do that
Yeah.
at all.
Okay. Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
have to join another unit. But I thought this was a really interesting one
I
because
I
to
like that.
me,
Yeah.
well, I like it, and so will everybody else if they were planning to take Contemptors because
This is the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
what it really
Yeah.
is interesting with that particular one, it's not the case with all of them, but with that particular one, I really felt it kind of undermined what they were trying to do with the levers by with the Force Org by putting dreadnoughts into single slots and then forcing you to take a
Yeah.
detachment for them. Like that one just feels like, well, if you're going to take Contemptors, you might as well just take the Mortificator
I guess you're
because
paying a tax for it, though, aren't you? I
right.
suppose.
But the thing is, before you were paying a logistical advantage tax for one
Yeah.
dreadnought, or
Yeah.
you were paying like a centurion tax for one or two of those slots. I think that the 100 points for what he gives you, plus the fact that he unlocks three contemptors, I think if you were always planning to take contemptors anyway, he seems like a bit of an auto include to me.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Um, but yeah,
I
just as an
guess.
aside, I think if you guys
Yeah.
haven't looked at him yet, definitely worth looking at because
No, I like that. The
he's good.
thing is, I always found the Mortificator, can never say that word, a little bit janky. Like,
Yeah,
he just was a bit shit. I always found, like,
yeah,
I don't know, like, you had to take him if you wanted to. I think you had to take him if you wanted to run, like, Fear of the Ancients or something. But I just always found him a bit meh.
yeah. Well,
Whereas now I
he's
feel
good
like
in
he's
the
got a
first edition.
purpose. His purpose
Oh
is if you
yeah,
want to take Contemptors, then take him.
take him. Yeah.
And I think if Contemptors were Weapon Skill 5, Ballistic Skill 5, people would be losing their heads.
Oh my God, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
because they're
100%.
not, I think
Yeah,
that's absolutely fine.
yeah,
I actually quite like it.
Yeah, I
Because
think
I
it's good.
still want to run contenters because
Yeah,
they're fucking
yeah.
contenters. They're great,
Yeah,
aren't they? I love
they're well,
contenters.
yeah. In terms with bolt cannons, heavy like conversion beamers, like all,
I,
and like you can just imagine little like mortificator, like because Battlesmith works within 6 inches now. He's just like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fix.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
need to be, and just hide him away and just keep the your long range contemptors
Or
at the
stick
back
them
and
in
make
your
them invisible.
Spartan full of jump pack veterans and keep
That's
fixing
true. That's
that.
true. Um. Anyway, right. Well, let's carry on. Let's have a look at the next one.
Although if
Tell
you
us
did
about
that, they
the.
wouldn't be able to move out 12 inches, would they?
No, that's true. That's true. And I think
Uh,
he's one of the few who can't take a jump pack, actually.
right.
So
I
even though
don't
you,
think he ever could. I could be
yeah,
wrong, but I don't think he ever could
yeah,
because obviously he's with the contenders.
yeah,
So,
he's not,
yeah.
nor is he mounted either. So, yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
right. Tell us about the next one. What's the next?
Oh, veteran breaches
Oh,
are
Lee, this
here.
one directly affects you as well, right?
So it does, but this is one of the things I was going to talk about earlier, but I said I'll wait. So obviously, veteran breaches are here. Weapon skill 5 breaches that can take close combat weapons, and special weapons are now an option. Oh, excuse me, I keep burping. And as producer Kerry has written, get building those Triari.
Uh,
Now, veteran breaches is something. Why the fuck isn't this in the Liber?
yeah,
Like, why
yeah.
like you've got your veteran tax squad, you've got your veteran assault squad. Why isn't a veteran breacher squad just in the Liber? I don't get it. I love this, but my breachers were one of my line units, and
Yeah,
now I don't have a line unit.
yeah.
So even though I love this, I'm still going to end up tearing all the Volkite off my breachers
Oh,
and
you're
just
not just
gluing
going to
both.
keep them as they
No,
are. Okay, interesting.
because I don't feel like you gain anything from veteran breaches by having Volkite on them.
Yeah,
Like,
you need
if I'm
ideally
going to
close
run
combat
veteran
weapons.
breaches, I'm going to
Yeah.
put like close combat weapons on them.
Yeah. The only thing I would say before you do it, is that I wonder whether in something like Zone Mortalis, where they can um capture or pin down, not literally pin, but hopefully encircle a like attack squad on a um on an objective and then shoot them with Volkite and then gain
Yeah.
Vanguard
So
3. I mean they do have Vanguard 3, which is really
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, great. But I have absolutely fuck all scoring. But what I'm saying here, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying I won't do veteran breaches.
Yeah,
I will
okay.
just change the ones I have.
To be
Yeah,
bolters.
because I really like this. This has nothing to do with like rules or making, making the most optimum list. But I love the idea of I can't think what it's called, but the corrupted.
I know which will you be. Yeah. True
What's
believer.
it?
True believer.
Yeah, I love the idea. And actually, the benefits for Iron Warriors is slightly diminished because you kind of have half of it already.
Yeah, okay.
But I really like the idea, and I've had a plan for doing something like this for a while with when I was doing word bearers, is converting a load of and I'm looking up there because I've got boxes of them up there, a load of the 40k Death Guard Plague Marines
Yeah.
into a veteran breacher squad and then running the True Believers thing more as a conversion exercise
Yeah.
and like hobby exercise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my plan as I sit. I want to do a veteran breacher squad that are kind of slightly Nurgle-fied, but obviously I'll get rid of all the fucking
Yeah. Tentacles and
well,
yeah.
most of the tentacles because they're meant to be corrupted, so I feel it kind of fits. But a
Yeah.
bit like Jack has done with
Yeah.
his Death Guard.
Yeah.
But that's my plan. Whether I'll ever get round to doing it, who fucking knows? But I just love the idea of close combat
Yeah.
breaches. Like I fucking
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Well, these look
Absolutely
good.
love it.
I think they they're going to be survivable. They're going to have a 5 up in burn. They're going to be Vanguard 3. The weapon skill 5. There's a lot to love about this unit. They could probably be quite expensive, but they've got a shield 30,
Yeah,
so they can +1 toughness. I think in the for a reaction. coming out, hopping out of a Proteus, I think is going to be
Oh, it'd be
really,
so
really, really
fucking cool,
nice.
wouldn't it? I
Yeah, really
love the
nice.
idea of these. I think you could do some really cool modeling
Conversions, right?
stuff.
Yeah,
And also, if you're World Eaters player, just do the Triari. Like, it'll be so cool.
yeah, so cool.
Who needs
Nice.
scoring when you're killing
Yeah,
everything? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but I
100%.
just wish this was in the main Libre.
Yeah.
I don't know why
I
it
can
isn't.
imagine that this would probably be, if it's going to come, it will be in a campaign book, and the campaign book will be about Zone Mortalis.
Yeah,
Like,
possibly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. Okay, well, let's have a
yeah,
look at the
true.
next one. So salamanders out on top. Yeah, so this was something which yeah, I agree. So basically they got two really good units, sanctifiers and adherents, I think they got. And both of them are rather tasty. And I think at least one of them has Vanguard. And they've also got Cassian Dracos, which is like one of very few weapon skill 5 dreadnoughts in the game. He comes with a whole host of other rules as well. I think he gains like I think he can do cyberthurgy from memory. He could do that last time, but yeah, he's really really tasty. What what don't salamanders have at this point, right? Like they've just got access to pretty much
Yeah,
everything. I bet they are absolutely loving life at the moment, salamanders
I
players.
feel like of all the legions that needed a bit of love, like
The amount of
salamanders
abuse we
are
gave them, right? Yeah.
probably up there as one of the legions that kind of deserved a little bit of love. So I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, they really really came out on top. I mean, Salamander's adherents are literally like troops choices. You know, they've got Vanguard 2. Uh, yeah, they're just literally they're just troops choices. It's crazy. Oh, they have access to a lot of stuff, but yeah, they've really come out on top. But yeah, a lot of love for Salamanders at the moment. Cool. Take us through the next one then, Lee. What's next?
What do we have here? Most specialized shooting units are now less elite.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the units that focus on shooting are now at ballistic skill 4, matching the change made to dreadnoughts. And we were kind of talking about this before we recorded, weren't we? And I mean, it just kind of makes sense, really. To me, it makes sense. You've got, shooting is king, so making shooting even better just makes it even more king, like King
Yeah.
of Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of makes sense. I don't. There's not really a lot else to say about it, is there? Like it just. I'm not angry that
Nope.
elite units are just as good as shooting as normal units
Yeah.
because it just gets a bit silly after a while. I
Yeah.
think that's the trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so the two exceptions to the rule are of course going to be Imperial Fists with heavy bolters and autocannons, and maybe if there's another auto or bolt weapon in there,
Yeah,
that will be the exception. And then of course veteran like tactical squads which can take I think two heavy weapons in a squad of 10.
It's time to upgrade your battlefield with Sacrus Mundus terrain. Sacrus Mundus sculpt breathtakingly detailed and varied terrain that will bring your games of Horus Heresy to life. From the ruined cities of Armoria to the jungle vestiges of Lintrath, Sacrus Mundus design immersive battlefields for any type of tabletop wargaming experience you desire. Find their extensive terrain collections online right now.
So it's good to see that things like Sun Killers and Iron Havocs are not a default ballistic skill 5 now, because they were just units that would just absolutely hammer you in last edition. Um,
yeah,
at that ballistic skill, and then just be, they were just unrivaled in terms of points as well. So it's good to see that, and as you say, it just dampens down the power of shooting, and the fact that there are no rerolls now, I like that. I think that was
yeah,
smart.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh God, yeah, yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, let's have a look at the next one. So all your favorite 2.0 legacy units are back.
Yes.
So lots of units that were in legacies in the previous edition are still around for third edition as well. Stasis Assault Ram is back, and lots of those units are back. Now there are, of course, exceptions to that. We did lose some units, but it is good to see those units return. And if you have some of your favorite units that have returned, then let us know what they are in the comments below. Lee, tell us about number 8. What is the 8th one?
Yes. Many of the named characters have gone.
Mm,
For now.
for now. I think
Uh,
it was interesting this, right? Because they were just like there are a couple of units, like named units. Narek Drager of all people are
Yeah,
like
but
in there, but they had it. He had a model,
he
right?
had a model, and I think that's why they've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people like Farith Redlos, Holgwain are gone. They are extinct. They are
Yes.
gone, which is
Yes.
so sad, I think, because they were great units that added a lot of flavor that people built kind of like their armies around, and they are gone into the ether.
I cannot believe that the poster traitor legion, the Iron Warriors, will not receive some sort of rules for named characters and
Yeah,
models. Like, I
yeah,
just, because, like, literally, we have fuck all.
yeah.
So I just can't believe that there won't be something that comes out in the not too distant future to actually give us some named characters.
Yeah.
I guess the counter argument to that is, for fuck's sakes, I've got to buy another book to be able to run some dudes that should just be in the Liber.
Well, I suspect that's going to be the case, Lee.
Yeah, but like, yeah, that
Yeah,
it is what it is, isn't it? But
yeah.
yeah, it seems a bit strange that we have fucking
N-
like one named
Not.
character in the
Yeah, yeah,
legacy, and that's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So hopefully, the ones that are disappearing, we will actually get some rules for.
yeah. I don't.
Hopefully,
Yeah, I think
sooner
people
rather
can
than later.
reuse the models. I think that you can probably be clever and reuse the models in some ways. I just
Yeah,
think it's just
yeah.
like Galen Serlak. I think he was a bit of a menace in 1.0, but what he did do was tie your inducti to a story of your army if you took him, and him going missing. Going AWOL from the legacies is just a bit of a shame because he was a character that people know and love and probably have quite cool conversions
Yeah,
for.
I just feel like you've introduced this entire new phase of the game where characters can engage in one-to-one combat,
Yeah,
but then some legions don't have any named characters. Like
yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of goes against the narrative you're
yeah.
trying to drive.
Or fewer name characters than they
Yeah,
have.
so like I feel like we must see some more named characters. Surely, I'll be
Surely.
fucking amazed if we don't, because
I would laugh so hard if the two named characters the Iron Warriors get are Dantiok, a loyalist, and Keir Valen, a loyalist. Oh my god, I would absolutely love that. That'd be amazing.
But
Cool.
then I would also be tempted to do a loyalist Iron Warriors force
Yeah,
using
yeah,
them.
fair play,
So,
fair play. But yeah, let's fingers crossed for Golg, because
I
he was
hope so.
such an
Like,
awesome character in 1.0. He could like take
and the model
Terminators as
could be
troops.
fucking brilliant as well,
Yeah,
can it?
yeah,
I
yeah,
hope so. I
yeah,
would be, like I say, I'll be amazed if we don't see someone.
yeah.
I mean, fucking Narek Drager. Like, oh god, fuck.
Cool. Let's have a look at the next one. So, fortifications remain largely trash. So, we have done a
Yes.
whole episode. I want to say relatively recently. It sticks in the back of my head. But it was probably done in the last 8 months, where we talked about fortifications, and we kind of drew out of that one. The shield generator could be good.
Yeah.
But basically, it was the Aegis defense line kind of ran like won out.
Yeah.
We have fortifications. They
And
are missing from the rulebook. They are now in the Legacies PDF.
once
There is,
again.
yeah, they are not necessarily in the best place. However, some of them we will deep dive into them at some point, most probably on the Patreon. But the Aegis defense line still looks pretty good. Now, I had
Yeah.
initially looked at the Aegis defense line, saw it had hull points, and then gone, oh well, okay, you can shoot it. So what's the point in taking it? And then Lee. And then what happened was that actually the bit that talked about the hull points was not the barricade
What had
line.
happened is I'd actually read the rules
That was it.
and was
That
like, no,
was
no, no,
when will I
Rob.
when will I learn? When will I learn? And actually, the whole points is associated with the kind of I want to say the bunko. I don't think it is that, but
It has a platform, yeah. I
that's it, the
can't remember the
platform.
exact
But the
wording, but
barricades
yeah,
themselves
cannot
cannot be
be
shot at.
touched.
They can't be
No.
targeted. And it literally says that in the last sentence of the rules. So, and they provide you a 5-up cover save. So they're
If
around
you're in
70
base contact,
base
yeah.
contact. So 70 points. They're in a really, really good place still, the Aegis Defense line. And then what's even more, you can actually buy, I think for another 70 points or maybe
I
50
think it's
points or
50
something,
points, isn't it?
you could
I'm just
buy
trying to
another
find it
platform
now.
and another 6 barricades on top of that as
Yeah.
well. So you could make the entirety of a kind of like a fortified position. But it does seem to me, Lee, if I'm right in saying this, those rules are associated with the new Aegis
I
defense
think
line,
so.
right?
I don't remember the original Aegis defense lines having a core
No,
platform, but
platform, no,
maybe.
no. So I'm going to assume that
So
it's
I
linked
think
with
they
that.
are, yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I've not. I don't own any of the 40k defense lines, but I'm pretty sure they come with like a
like a
little
platform.
base bit,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
the barricades come off it.
yeah.
And yeah, I quite like the idea of an Iron Warriors force
Yeah.
hiding
Amazing.
behind. So it does say here that the if you buy the additional core platform and 6 barricades, they all have to be in base contact with each other. So the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So you
So
just
just
have
one
one
vertical
massive
effect.
barricade, which
Yeah,
I quite like the idea of, if I'm
yeah.
totally honest.
It's awesome. And actually, that I really like the new Aegis defense line. I think it looks really,
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. You don't
Yeah.
have to
So
paint all the fucking
yeah.
dead guardsmen.
No, 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 no. This looks yeah, it
Christ.
looks really, really good. Yeah, because that was before, right? They had an Aegis defense line or something that had like loads of dead guardsmen at the bottom
Yeah,
of it
that's
or
it. Was that
something.
not how they used to? To be
I'm
honest,
sure it is.
I swear I've got Alzheimer's. Like anything beyond last week, and I can't remember. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure they used to.
Okay.
I
Well,
know
that
the
looks like
bunkers and that did, but I can't remember.
looks like I'll be picking up one of those, and looks like I'm going to be painting one of those for my YouTube tutorials. So double whammy. Cool, cool, cool. Look forward to that. Cool. Well, what's the tenth and final point then? Yeah,
So number 10, units all seem well pointed and
yeah,
balanced.
yeah,
Yeah, unlike the Legacy of 2.0, there are no units that are so poorly
yeah.
pointed and written that they are unusable. The only caveat I would say to this is, like you mentioned earlier on, some of the Legion specific weapons seem really fucking expensive.
Really pricey. Yeah, really pricey.
Like the shrapnel bolters for the Iron Warriors, I think they're 3 points each. If you have a
Right.
10-man tack squad, you've got to spend 30 points.
Yeah, upgrading them all.
That's a lot of points if you're taking, four 15-man tack squads. And I think I can't remember what it gives. It gives
Yeah,
something, but it's got a zero. It's got no negative, so you're just taking your full kind of checks against it.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they are worth that, but I don't know. At the
So
minute, I don't know.
one of the things I had heard was that they had purposely increased the price of the Legacies units in order to discourage people from using them. That is
Right.
not the sense that I get from reading the Legacy.
No.
I mean, sure, you could say like Lockheed's HORUS, for example, as that's one I've looked into. They are very expensive, and every guy you hemorrhage is going to be a real kick in the teeth. But when you
Yeah.
compare them to veteran breachers or a command squad, and then the fact that they come with like they have built in like a power sword or a super duper power sword that's breaching 5 up, and then plus some of their other rules as well, you kind of go, this seems actually like well points costed against like other things within the books. Like I know they're pricey, but like they're not
Yeah.
outrageously pricey.
I
So
haven't done a full deep dive on the full Legacy PDF because I haven't had a spare month to go through it all. But from everything I've looked at, it seems totally fine to
yeah,
me. Like I
yeah,
say, the only thing I've had so far that I looked at was the shrapnel bolters that I was
yeah,
like, ooh, that's a lot of points.
yeah,
Or not
yeah.
necessarily a lot of points, but soon adds up. I mean,
I
they
suppose it's good
are,
though because you would say, okay, well, do I want to put this on 4 tactical squads or do I want to buy another tactical squad? And I quite like that. I really like
yeah,
the fact that
yeah,
you're just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
do I buy a fifth tactical squad,
But
or do I put them
I
on?
didn't look at it and be like, oh, they've totally done that just so you can't use it.
Yeah, no, 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 no,
It's
no.
on that point where it's like,
Yeah,
this is kind of acceptable.
yeah,
I never used to run shrapnel bolters in second edition because I
yeah,
didn't like losing the range.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But there's that argument between do you want to lose the range and have more effect?
yeah,
But yeah, I don't look at this and think, fucking hell, that's ridiculous. But it was my first thing of like, oof, 3 points. But
Yeah,
then when you think about it, it's like maybe that's acceptable. I don't know.
yeah,
Like if you've used Iron Warriors and you've used the shrapnel bolters, like let me know how you get on with them.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think I will be running them, but like you say, pinning zero worth 3 points.
Oh, yeah. I think it probably is.
Yeah, so that's
I
the
don't
thing,
think
isn't
so.
it? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. I think that's definitely for good value. Yeah, I like that.
I think it just depends. Like yeah, I guess they
Yeah.
like 120 points for 4 tax squads,
And that's
or you could
which is
just
like or
have
get
another
another
tax
tax
squad.
squad. Yeah, that's the issue.
And it's 18-inch range. So again, I'm not a huge fan of losing range
Yeah,
because it's all well and good being great, but if you can't shoot anything, like.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then I guess things have changed now, haven't they? You can just roll up in your rhino and jump out and fucking gun people down.
yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
but the fact that we're having a conversation about it makes me think it's probably about right.
Yeah, I agree. I
Because I
agree.
think if they were 2 points each, you'd just be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll take it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. 100%.
So who knows?
Cool.
But yeah,
Okay.
no, I haven't looked at anything and been like, oh god, that's
No,
outrageous.
no,
But
no.
maybe we've missed them.
No. Cool. Okay. Well, just our closing thoughts. You know, I guess, in terms of the state of where Heresy is, it had a very, very, very rocky start. But now that we've got games
Yes.
going, now that we're kind of getting into it, now that we've got the legacies, now that we've seen that like we haven't lost as many units as I want to say that we first thought, but that's not true. That we haven't lost as many units as we knew that we were going to lose, and as a result,
Yes.
community
Yeah. Yeah.
outright,
Yeah.
like that we have got many of those units back, which is really good. I mean, man alive, I never want to see the original PDF, like because I suspect it was
Oh
tragic
god.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
and very depressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, and now like it's interesting as well that everything's wrapped up from a Games Workshop point of view. Like we haven't had an article since the 1st of August about Heresy
Yeah.
specifically, unless it's like a pre-order article telling us something is coming. There's been nothing about like building, building your. We had an article about building Saturnine Terminators, but we haven't had an article about like converting your Saturnine Praetor or whatever, and it's just everything's just seems to
No.
be calmed. And now we'll get into the rhythm
I
of playing games, turning up to events, etc., etc.
yeah. This should be the fun bit, shouldn't it? This is the
Yeah,
bit where everything's new. It's virgin territory.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
We
you
had a
can try
faltering
these.
start, but now we're
Yeah,
back
like
on
this.
track,
This
right?
is the bit where everyone's like, "Oh fuck, Seekers are breaching 4+. Yeah, I'm gonna take 30
30
of
of
them."
them. We know who you are, Will Henry, bad man.
But yeah, like it's. I just love that. I love that. Someone mentioned something about a weapon and you haven't even looked at it yet, and then you go and look at it, you're like, "Oh fuck, that's awesome! Finally, I
Yeah,
can run that thing." Yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to get games in. Like I say, this is the most pumped I've been for Heresy in a long, long time.
yeah,
This is how it should have been, though, isn't it? I guess this is
yeah.
the sad thing is like we should have been like this the whole time, and we weren't. But we're here now, and that's kind of what matters, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's the way, which is that exactly our point at the beginning, which is that we could lament the past 6 weeks and just go, "Oh, what a disaster!" Like whatever.
Yeah,
Actually, it's probably best just to kind of
man,
look to the future.
I'd skipped
It's
over
only
the
just begun.
flyer rules when I was reading the book the first time through. And I went back and read them a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Oh man, I really want to do a load of solar auxilia flying
Mate,
in on the little whatever you
on
call
the
them, the
Arbus
little."
Lighters.
Oh
Yeah,
mate,
yeah,
fucking brilliant!
yeah,
Just dropping them off, and you could do like an emergency pickup thing as well. And
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
I just
yeah,
fucking love it. That
mate.
sounds so thematic,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it's
would probably
awesome.
be shit, but it's so cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's so
yeah,
cool.
mate.
Like I
I'm,
really want to do like a air mobile, airborne solar
yeah.
auxiliary force. I
That'd be
will
really
never
cool.
get around to doing it, but.
Yeah. I
One day, one
I've
day.
had speaking of projects I want to work on, I've had some Castellax sitting on my shelf for ages.
Ah, yes.
and I've been desperate to kind of like do something with them in 2.0, and just didn't. I haven't found the time to do them. But I think that they will be the next project that I do, either with some
Interesting.
attached text priest or with some attached
Prav
Pravians.
Pravian, yeah. You know
Yeah,
what? I haven't actually looked at the Pravian rules because I've run a Pravian
yeah.
for first and second edition.
You basically
You
they're
basically
not
just take Castellax.
they're basically that, and they don't get like the
Yeah,
Legion rule.
right.
I think one of the things that they lack is the ability to do cyberthurgy, the
Okay.
Pravians. So, and then they
Yeah.
can't like give additional bonuses
Yeah,
to
it's a
the
shame, isn't it? Because
Castellax.
first edition they were fucking amazing. Then
Yeah,
second
so good.
edition they got absolutely nerfed to fuckery to the point that, and Castellax did as well, that
Yeah.
like most people didn't take them. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Now
still
now
have
that now they're cheap. I mean, it's 65 points for a Castellax with
so
Darkstar.
cheap. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I mean, I say they're cheap, but they'll get hammered by damage to weapons. But the thing
Yeah,
is, that I think, like with a tech priest, I think I'm right in saying they've got the tech priests have controller too. So basically,
comptroller.
if they are outnumbered within that unit, then they essentially gain line. I mean, the controller is line essentially, but as long as they're
Oh,
outnumbered in that
yeah.
unit, and I think the fact that you can overcharge the reactors on through cyberthurgy is probably just the better way to take them with a tech priest. And like tech priests are troops choices in a mechanicum unit.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, so I'd probably take one Magos um, to because he has Officer of the Line too. Um, or whatever the
Right.
Mechanicum equivalent is. Take a couple of tech thralls, not tech thralls, sorry, tech priests, and then 2 units of Castellax, and then put them with the tech priests, and then put the Magos somewhere like a big automata or something like that, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'll
I've
be
got big
honest,
big
like
plans for the mech.
I've read through the mech book once, but I am struggling to get my head around it, and I
Yeah,
think
you
it's
need time.
just because it's so different from how it's run
I
previously.
tell you what you need. You need a 12-hour journey from Sydney to Melbourne on a train, mate. That will get
Yeah,
your head
I
around
mean,
the
that's
Mechanicum
what I
unit.
need. I need a 12-hour journey without children. That's what I fucking need. That's what I need. Just a 12-hour window with no kids, and
Cool.
I will be dandy.
Well, with that, let's say our final thank you. So, thank you to our top tier Patreons. Your support means the world to us, and for everybody who signed up to Patreon, your support means the world to us. It allows us to keep going and allows us to do all our big projects. We've got a lot of really big projects in the pipeline
Yes,
for the
we
second part of
have.
this year. So just thanks so much, guys. We really, really appreciate it. And if you would consider signing up to our Patreon, it's as little as £4 a month. And we've got lots of videos on there already, and we are about to do even more in the coming few days. I know that I want to do some Talons of the Emperor list writing. Haven't told Kerry or Lee about this, but I've got a Patreon video up my sleeve, which is an allied detachment list, a 2,000 point list, and a 3,000 point list for Custody. So I'm looking forward to sharing that on the
Nice,
Patreon.
nice.
But with that, let's just go
Oh,
to say never mind, our final thank yous, which is uh, just to say as well, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and leave a comment down below. Don't forget you can join our WhatsApp community as well, and you can be part of the conversation. Just find the link on our Instagram page, in the link tree. Of course, don't forget to sign up to Patreon if you aren't already signed up. We do offer a 7-day free trial if you want to just try it out, get a little taste of everything. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well, because there's always stuff going on there. A commentary on Warhammer 30k and Games Workshop usually. But with that one, we shall bid you adieu. Thanks ever so much, guys, and we shall see you on the next one.
cheers, guys.